You're listening to RTE Radio 1, and now at 5:30, where normally we have the Monica Moody show, well, in fact there's been an awful development, and I believe Garrett Fitzgerald is standing by with an important announcement. You can take the read now, former Taoiseach.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Garrett Fitzgerald, ex-world leader. It is my duty at this time to inform you that Monica Moody, colleague, housewife, mother and radio celebrity, is dead. We received the news from the hospital a short time ago as Breeder was preparing the studio here. Today's programme, as you may know, was to have been the last in the current series of the Monica Moody show. But Monica Moody is dead. Consequently, a Monica Moody show as such would be, to all intents and purposes, a technical impossibility. However, I, Dr. Garrett Fitzgerald, in collaboration with the producer, Mr. John Caden, in lieu of a Monica Moody show per se, have decided to dedicate this next half hour to her memory, to paint a picture, as it were, of the woman I and countless others had grown to know, admire, and deeply like. It will be, I hope, an in memoriam Monica, or remembrance of things Moody. It will be a fitting and moving panegyric to a woman who statistically always seemed larger than life, but who is now, as I've mentioned quite suddenly, in fact, dead. So, for the next half hour, a tribute to the late Monica Moody, ex-radio celebrity. This is Dr. Garrett Fitzgerald. I'm ready, John. And what a week it's been. With a new Rose of Tralee, and congratulations to Twink and whoever on the birth of their... No, perhaps not. Now, following the death of Monica Moody, I'm joined in the studio today by two people whose lives have been completely shattered by this tragic loss. First, we have Monica's son, Ronan. Hello, Ronan.
Hello, Dr. Fitzgerald.
You're very welcome to your ex-mother's hit show.
Thanks very much.
Any comments, Ronan, you'd like to make at this juncture?
I just want to say, this is really heavy. I was really attached to to my mother, and it's like totally weird.
Thank you, Ronan. Well done. And secondly, we're joined by a woman who was perhaps Monica's most devoted fan. A woman who constantly phoned in to Monica's broadcasts. A woman who maintained a lone 24-hour vigil outside St. Vincent's Hospital while Monica lay straddling the gap between this world and the next. A woman known only as Maura from Castle Troy. Hello, Maura.
Hello, Dr. Fitzgerald, ex-world Taoiseach. Listen to me. Monica's violent death. Isn't it awful?
Yes, indeed. Breda, I think hot tea and ham sandwiches all around. We also have Carmen Cedar Hederman and the Leeson Street Residents Association Steel Band, who will play something suitably lugubrious at some point in the show. And we've been joined also at short notice with her comments, and we hope an impromptu Paul Durkin poem by Her Excellency President Mary Robinson. Hello, Mary Robinson.
Hello, Garrett Fitzgerald. May I say that I, Nick, the children, and indeed the entire population of the country are devastated and rendered near speechless by this catastrophic tragedy.
Thank you, Mary. Settle down, Maura.
Sorry, I just very overcome, Mr. Taoiseach, you know. I just find it so sad,
indeed,
so depressing, you know. Listen to me, Mr. Taoiseach, did you ever see her kitchen? I believe it was
Monica
fabulous.
Moody, age 47, born blind.
Oh my God, I didn't know she was blind. Oh, that's awful. How did she manage to drive her car?
No, you stupid woman, Blind. That was her maiden name, Monica Blind. Very common name statistically in the Longford Westmeath area. Monica Moody, née Blind, was a woman who felt deeply herself about death and the death of her fellow celebrities. This sympathy was occasionally so strong as to be a touch perhaps misguided, as in this recent discussion following the birthday celebrations of John B. Keane, which we'll hear now. It testifies eloquently to Monica's deep sense of humanity, coupled with and I tried to tell her this on numerous occasions, an almost willful disregard for factual accuracy. Roll it there, Breda. Listeners, this was Monica Moody.
A lot of tributes to playwright John B. Keane. Some very moving words here, Garrett.
Yes, indeed. One of our leading writers. Statistically, John B. Keane has written
indeed,
1.4.
a tragedy, a great loss. Yeah. You know, I'd be all on for a state funeral. Yeah, I mean, like Neil Tobin could do a reading, maybe, and perhaps Siobhan McKenna. Huh?
No, she's in fact dead, Monica.
Is she? Oh, well, it's a double tragedy then. Brenda Bulger, John B. Keane. Isn't it awful?
Well, Monica, I know why you're calling it a tragedy.
No, I know what you
aware.
mean, Brenda. You're right. It's not a tragedy. After all, he had a very good innings, didn't he? 65.
No.
Garrett, you've been 65. It is quite old, isn't it?
Well, in the Western or the First World, statistically 65 is a median
isn't
age.
it? And all those plays. He achieved a huge amount, and he's left a tremendous legacy.
Monica, I'm sorry if you'll forgive me for saying it. I think you've got the wrong end of the stick here now.
No,
He's not
be
actually.
fair, Brenda. I know some of the earlier plays weren't up to much. I mean, Sive was awful, and Big Maggie was dire, wasn't it? And as for Moll, but I saw The Field recently, and it was breathtaking. Richard Harris was tremendous.
Yes, but Monica, he's not dead.
No, he isn't, is he? Funnily enough, still alive, still carousing. I saw him in that Clint Eastwood film. What was it?
Dirty Harry.
No, the other one, The Cowboys.
No.
Unforgiven. That's it. Oh,
Monica,
he was very
no,
good.
I mean, John B. Keane isn't
yes,
dead.
sorry, off on a tangent there. I'm a bag of hormones. Yes, as we were saying, a great loss and a tragedy for the country. I noticed that his wife hasn't mentioned it in her newspaper column, though.
Well, does she have a column?
Oh, yes. Jim Madden, welcome. Look, no need to put up your hand. What was it? Look, she's here, in the back of the Sunday Independent, and not a word about John B.
I didn't realise.
Monica, that's not his wife.
No, you're right, Brenda. I'm sorry. Insensitive me. His widow. The woman who destroyed John B. Keane's life and broke his spirit by running away to Dublin and joining the Sunday Independent.
Monica, you're completely wrong here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
First of all,
Sorry, Brenda. Sorry if I'm not modern enough for you. Sorry if I'm the only one who thinks that a woman who runs off on her husband John B. Keane to start a gossip column in the Sunday Independent, leaving him short a wife and a barmaid, is pretty damn shabby behaviour. Pretty damn shabby, Garrett.
Monica, a number of facts need to be clarified here. First, John B. Keane is not, in fact, dead. Fact one.
Garrett, enough statistics, all of you.
you.
It's a dreadful loss, and I hope his widow, Terry, has the decency to return to the pub and continue his life's work. Look, we'll move on.
Monica Moody, she's your friend.
The late Monica Moody there from a recent show. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who've just joined us, Monica Moody is dead. You're listening to a tribute to the memory of Monica Moody. We have here her greatest fan in the studio, Maura from Castletroy. Maura, will you ever recover from Monica's untimely demise?
Oh no, Dr. Fitzgerald, ex-World Taoiseach, I don't think I'll ever be fully the same again. You know, I mean, she meant an awful lot to me and my husband and my neighbours, Mr. and Mrs. Mooney. They were devoted to her as well. I remember one time I called her.
I think President Mary Robinson, you want to say something?
Yes, Garrett Fitzgerald. As I travelled through the country, countless women's groups, for example, the ICA, the Council for the Status of Women, the Mayo Women's Peace Collective, the Westmeath Lesbian Anti-Cholesterol Quilting Association.
We must move on.
Yes, the Ballyhonus Bisexuals,
like Mary Robinson, Monica Moody saw herself and her show as a forum, an open house, a talking shop, not just for fellow celebrities, but for all Irish women, has-beens, nobodies, wazzers, as we say in radio. As in this early interview with a woman I know many listeners like me grew to listen to, Babs O'Driscoll, supermarket demonstrator with the United Nations, talking to Monica Moody. Roll it there, Breda.
Hello, Monica. Now, this is an entirely new product. And what it is basically goujons of chicken covered in strips of marinated badger. Would you like to try some?
Oh, thanks awfully. Looks lovely, beautifully presented. Little coloured fork.
It's a bit hot now with the lights and all. Do you like it?
It's a bit dry, isn't it?
That'll be the badger.
Pardon me. Now, is that the free-range badger?
It is.
And it's all Irish?
All Irish, made in Mitchelstown.
Now, Babs, you're a demonstrator with one of our larger supermarket chains. Isn't that right?
That's right. I started in the Blackrock Quinsworth, and then I moved on to Super Quinn in Kimmage, and then I went to the Rathmines 24-hour Spar, and then I went on to the Nugget in Dean's Grange.
Yes, and suddenly, Babs, you decided to abandon all that and take your unit and your samples to some of the most dangerous, most war-torn areas on Earth. One question, Babs. Why, Babs?
Well, Monica, I felt that if I could take all Irish products to these areas and allow the differing factions to sample them in bite-sized portions in a relaxed, informal setting, I might in some way help to bring about world peace. You've a lovely colour. Is that a sunbed?
No. You've just returned from war-torn Cambodia, little bird tells me. What was that like? Paint me a picture, Babs.
Well, Monica, we got the 3 good days, and then for the rest it was what I'd call overcast.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Babs, but I'd say it was baking in the day, but you'd die without a cardy in the evening.
That's right. But I was demonstrating in an area of heavy fighting, in fairness.
And what were you demonstrating exactly?
Well, it's another new all-Irish product.
It's made in Mitchelstown.
Yes. It's called turkey batines. And what it is basically gougeons of turkey covered in lard. Would you like to try some?
No, I'm getting a bit of a repeat on the badger.
Monica Moody, she's my mother.
The late Monica Moody there in happier days. To recap, for those of you who've got fed up at 2FM and switched over, Monica Moody is dead. I'm joined in the studio by Maura from Castle Troy, her greatest fan, Her Excellency President Mary Robinson, and by Monica's son Ronan, who's reading a magazine. Put it away, Ronan.
Oh, sorry, Fitz.
What is it anyway?
Actually, it's my guy.
Oh, my guy. That latest one.
Yeah.
Take that on the cover.
That's right, yeah.
Can I have a flick through it?
Sure.
Oh, look
sure,
at them.
go ahead.
Yes, wearing shorts and everything.
That's Kerry Barlow.
The lead singer, that's right, yes.
And that's Robbie.
No, I think that's Robbie.
No, that's Jason.
No, that's Robbie, that's Jason, that's Mark, and that's Howard.
That's Jason, that's Robbie there.
Chappy there? That one over there, who's he?
That's Howard.
Oh, yeah. He's the spitting image of the little fella who packs my shopping at the supermarket.
Really?
Yes.
All right, yes, we have to move on.
Sorry, Garry Fitzgerald, can I say something?
Please, say what you like, President Mary Robinson.
Thank you, Garry Fitzgerald. Well, as I travel up and down and over and back the length and breadth of the country, I meet various groups, many of them in shorts, some of them very tight-fitting.
Thank you very much, Mary, but I've got a show to do here. Monica Moody died following an unfortunate accident with a domestic appliance. She was in her bedroom at the time. As far as we know, there was an explosion. Then a mercy dash to St. Vincent's Hospital, lights flashing, etc. Nurses, paramedics, helicopters, touch and go for the last 24 hours, vigiled by Moore from Castle Troy. But now, it's all over.
Yes, it's all over. And she was such a young, lively, chatty woman. Only 47, you know.
Yes, indeed.
God, so sad. And she had a marvellous career ahead of her, didn't she?
Indeed,
Television programmes, films, hosting next year's Rosa Trelisi. She could have done anything.
A woman who cared, and cared deeply about the sufferings of others. Of the many instances of this I could choose from, I have decided on this interview with a woman called Brenda Bolger. It testifies eloquently to Monica's massive concern for all of that.
Monica Moody.
Brenda Bolger, Chin. Children hurt by irresponsible naming. What do you do exactly in a nutshell?
Well, Monica, Chin is a group of adult children who've been scarred or in some cases driven mad by their stupid names.
Oh, I know, witness baby. Brenda, driven mad by their names. What kind of names are we talking about here? Examples?
Well, we found a chain that we can divide irresponsible naming into 2 categories. Now, the first group we call Irishie Makey Uppie.
And that would be what, Brenda?
Irishie Makey Uppie would be names like, let me see, Isha, Lisha, Nisha, Wisha, Gisha, Frisha, Sirsha, Siamsha, Fada, Lava, Fada, Fiacla, Shasuis, Bunty, Dandy, June and school friend, Lemo Marco, you know, those type of names.
Yes, and your group tries to help people with these names, many of whom have been driven completely insane.
Yes, unfortunately, that's right.
Yeah.
And we're also very concerned about celebrity children, children who've been named by parents who were drunk or on drugs or recently had a hit record. That seems to be a big trigger.
Oh, yes, like, what was it? What did Bob Geldof call his child? What was it? Oh, Fifi Trixie, wasn't it?
Yes, very cruel. Unfortunately, Bob Geldof is no longer resident in Ireland, you know, so there's very little we can do to help Fifi and her crazy named sisters.
Oh, tragic.
They're officially out of our jurisdiction, but we are very concerned at the moment, however, about you too.
I know, Larry, isn't it awful?
Yes, that's terrible, but we're more concerned about the age. Now, he is himself a victim of irresponsible naming, but with sons called Aaron and Blue, I think there's evidence that he's expressing his victim status through his children.
And Bono has a funny one as well, doesn't he?
That's right.
And God knows what Adam and Naomi are going to dream up for their unfortunate progeny.
Yes, what we hope to do now is to reach out to the parents before they name their children, and also to help these children before they're driven mad by their names.
Very encouraging. It's a pity you were too late for Liam and Wainley, huh?
That was a
but
shame.
Can Chin still help the children of you too, Brenda?
Oh, yes, definitely. We offer a wide variety of services now to our members.
Excellent, yes.
Ranging from 12-step counselling to nickname nurturing to electric shock therapy.
Yes.
We also offer a helpline for parents to try to prevent further irresponsible naming. For example, if a parent feels they're about to give their child a stupid name, they can call us up, and we have a dictionary by the phone full of normal, good, proper names, you know, to prevent them fecking around with names. And we've got names in it like Joseph, David, you know, the normal, perfectly
Mary,
suitable names, John Bosco. And if they want to go a little bit wacky or different, they can choose Aisling or Cahill or Niamh. We would advise them to do that, you know.
It's very moving. And you receive no state funding, isn't that right, Brenda?
Unfortunately, Monica, that's
Shameful,
true. We're funded purely from public donations.
Oh, yes.
So we have to charge a nominal fee to all our members. And there's a group rate for families and for hothouse flowers.
And I believe you're having a flag day this coming week, is that right?
That's right. We are. We'll have hundreds of people with stupid names out collecting for us.
Yes,
and Mervyn Taylor is very kindly going to auction something for us. He's actually one of our founder members.
Magic. Brenda, I have to ask, is there anything you can do for poor Aubrey Robinson?
Well, it's very difficult, Monica, but we are working on it.
Oh, excellent, because it would be a shame if he was driven mad by his name, wouldn't it?
Very
God
sad.
knows that woman has enough on her plate. Brenda Bolger, or Rainbow Warrior Child, as your mother calls you, you're doing marvellous work. You're easing the burden of hundreds of people with stupid makey-uppy names. Stay with us. I'm sure Garrett has lots of questions.
Monica Moody, she's your friend.
The late Monica Moody there, talking while she was still alive. And I'd like at this juncture to apologise to Her Holiness President Mary Robinson for that unwarranted attack on her son's name.
Apologies accepted, Garrett
This is the kind of thing Monica said all the time. I tried to warn her.
What age is Aubrey, Your Majesty?
I'm not absolutely sure, Ronan. Bride Rosny takes care of that end of things.
Right. Well, did he do his leaving? How did he do it?
Right, fine. We're joined now in Studio 1, just down the corridor, by Carmen Sita Hederman and the Leeson Street Residents Association Steel Band. Carmen Sita, as you know, was a close friend of Monica's and has prepared this tribute. Take it away, Carmen Sita. I'm terribly sorry about that.
Beautiful, beautiful music, wasn't it? Listen to me, Dr. Fitz. You know, the only consolation is that she died in an explosion.
What?
I think that's the way she would have liked it, wouldn't she?
Yes, Maura. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to a tribute to the late Monica Moody, who died today following a freak accident with a domestic appliance. President Mary Robinson, Any thoughts?
Yes, Garrett Fitzgerald, many. Monica was a woman, a Manaw, like myself, who wanted to give a voice, a hearing to all those other women, or Manaws, or is it Mani, who in Ireland knew other women, Manaws or Mani, and as a woman, a Manaw, she felt deeply as I do that women, Manana Hale, if you like.
It was not just women, was it, Your Excellency? Monica cared for everybody. She tried to reach out, as she said herself, to all the parts of all the people of this island. Monica also cared for men. For example, her son, Ronan, who is with us today.
Yeah, right.
Any comments, Ronan?
Oh, yeah, right. Well, she was like a very big, a major influence on me.
Yes.
And, well, I think I owe everything to her. Yeah, well, she kept a little book. And, for example, like, when I didn't do so great in the leaving, she was trying, like, to help me, you know.
Yes.
And, well, as you know, I'm now with Daniel O'Donnell, yeah.
She was a married woman. Her husband, Tony, alas, cannot be with us because he's on an unavoidable golfing weekend in the Four Seasons in Portugal. And she was a woman who cared deeply about marriage, as this next piece with a priest, Father Tom Doughty, makes clear.
More generally, Father, what can a couple do to save their marriage?
Well, as I was saying, maybe 2 or 3 evenings a week. Have the priest there. Maybe for dinner, a couple of bottles of wine. Discuss any problems they might be experiencing.
A couple of bottles of wine.
Oh, no, Monica, don't get me wrong. I am not suggesting that the priest should drive home afterwards.
No, well, I'm glad that we cleared that one up. I mean, what are you suggesting, Father Tom?
Well, I think in these cases, if they kept a small bedroom for the priest...
Oh, so you could stay over?
Oh, no, nothing fancy. I'd be grand in the box room. The priest's hole. Do you know that expression?
Not in that context, Father, no.
Well, of course, I fully realise that this is a fairly tall order. Many young couples, especially with children, won't have a spare room, so if they just give the priest a small camp bed in their bedroom...
Oh, and a pair of jams?
Oh, I'd never bother with anything like that, Monica. No, if they have a king-size bed, then we could dispense with the camp bed altogether. We could get the church right in there, right at the heart of the marriage. I could crawl in under the covers, work my way up.
Father Tom, I think we get the picture. Bring the church into the marriage.
Yeah, right in there, where the action is, so to speak. Now, Dick and Kirsty Spring, for example. You mentioned the picture there. I've done some drawings.
Oh, yes, I'm sure you have. Breda, can you call security? Now, Father Tom, I should point out to the listeners that you're retiring next month. Isn't that right?
Well, that's true, all right. Now, you see, here's the bed.
Oh, yes.
Here
Breda, tell them it's urgent. Code
Kirsty's
red, Breda.
leg sticking out there.
How did Dick get down there?
I know you're looking at the wrong way. It's the wrong way up. There we are.
Anyway, Father Tom Doughty, you've devoted your life to serving couples with problem marriages, and we wish you a happy retirement. Oh, lads, take him away, would you?
You're listening to a tribute to the late Monica Moody. And I should point out at this stage that Monica also has, or had, a daughter, Ciara, to whom she was also devoted. She, in fact, as listeners will know, successfully managed during the course of the series to clone Ciara's dog, Pongo, from his paw when she accidentally ran over him in her car. Coincidentally, some months ago, Monica swapped Ciara for a 1982 Volvo convertible, and hence Ciara is also at present unaware of the tragic circumstances surrounding her mother's death, unless, that is, Ciara's new owner has the radio switched on. This next interview, which was with Ciara's friend Joanne, demonstrates Monica's devotion to all problem children.
I decided to make dolls of important Irish political figures with my hands.
One question, Joanne. Why, Joanne? It doesn't matter. Get on with it.
And I started with Brendan Howland here.
Isn't that marvellous? Look at that carrot.
Oh, that's gracious.
I melted down an action man with my hands.
Yes, he is a bit of a little action man, isn't he? A little action man with a beard. Yes. Isn't he gorgeous? And so tiny.
Yeah.
Are all your dolls this tiny? Well, no, I suppose they wouldn't be. And look, Coco, look how all his little bits move. Look at that little head turning around and going up and down. Look at that carrot. Oh, and the clothes come off off.
Yeah, I melted down an action man with my hand.
Now, while I'm taking Brendan Howland's clothes off, I should say at this juncture that I actually know Joanne's mother quite well. Don't I, Joanne?
Yeah, and the little underpants come off as well.
Isn't that just dinky? Oh, is that bit supposed to do that? No. Oh, never mind. And Joanne, returning, I think it's fair to say that you were always regarded as sort of slow child, weren't you? Last out of nappies, that kind of thing.
I've other outfits for him as well. This is evening wear for when he goes out in the evening.
Oh, yes, I see. We've a little pair of jeans and a lovely weeny little leather jacket.
Yeah.
That must have been very hard to do. Now, don't be so rough with him, Gareth.
And I've done a beach wear and sports wear and car wear and shopping wear for shopping.
How many exactly?
Oh, that's extraordinary. And is that a little diving suit?
Yes, that's his deep sea wear.
It's amazing. Joanne, you must have literally hundreds of outfits here, and all of them meticulously, almost obsessionally well made.
Yes, well done.
Thank you very, very much, Monica.
So, Joanne, any other dolls? Or are you just sticking with Brendan Howland? Careful, Gareth.
I'm just doing Brendan Howland.
Are you sure, Joanne? Because, for example, a Mary O'Rourke doll, though larger and less attractive, might prove very popular.
No, Brendan Howland.
Fair enough, Joanne. Obviously, you know better than I do. Joanne McCarthy, you're doing marvellous work. You're out there in the marketplace. Your mother's obviously very relieved. You're our Woman of the Week. Here's your hairdryer. You've got 2 minutes to get all this stuff out of the studio. Thank you. Garrett, give it back now.
Might I swap
Garrett.
it for chalk ice?
Garrett, I won't talk to you again.
Moody, she's the best.
Yes, and another great bit was where I did my tribute to the Rolling Stones. Did you hear that, Fiona?
No.
That was brilliant. Do we have that, John? Okay, roll it there. This is great. You'll love this.
Carmen Sita Hederman on piano. Oh, I love that. Isn't that lovely? She's a dab hand. Off you go,
I met
Garrett.
her gin-soaked barroom queen in Memphis.
Isn't he marvellous for a man of his age?
She tried to take me upstairs for a ride.
Can you imagine it, Brenda?
She had to leave me right across her shoulder.
I had a camera.
Cause I just can't seem to drink it off my mind.
Well done, Garrett.
She's a honky-tonk woman.
Wonderful. Don't rush ahead of him, Carmen Sita.
Give me the honky-tonk blues.
Wonderful. Well
It was epic great. Now, see, the thing is, Monica's big mistake was she never really fully went into international politics. Ronan, you're a boy. You're interested in international politics, aren't you?
Well, no, not really. It's too complicated.
No, au contraire. It's quite simple. You see, the European Community was founded in 1947. Now, imagine this is Belgium here. Now, following the accession of Great Britain, Ireland and Denmark in 1972, if you imagine this is Greenland here, and try to pretend that Morve and Castle Troy there is Luxembourg, and that chalk ice is Jacques Delors. Now, fine. With the British intransigence to the Common Agricultural Policy, we've...
absolutely.
Oh, my God, Monica!
Oh, my God.
Wow!
Oh, it's a goose. Oh, help me.
Garrett, give me that microphone.
Monica, golly, you're alive. It's a miracle.
Oh, gosh, Mum, I thought you said you weren't going to...
The plan was, Garrett Fitzgerald, that you would do a tribute to me, not that you'd viciously, heartlessly use this show as a vehicle for your mind-boggling, tedious, brain-numbingly boring opinions on current affairs. Oh, shut up, Maura. You see, you've given this woman a heart attack. You realise that, Garrett Fitzgerald?
No.
You're so boring that you've actually given Maura from Castle Troy a brain seizure. That was the plan, Garrett. That I'd die, you'd present tribute, and I'd miraculously recover. I'd get a new series, probably on the TV, but no. Oh, no, you had to do it all your own way, didn't you? Oh, the red light is on. Show about to start. I'm ready, John. Oh, my goodness, I'll never get myself together.
I think this woman's having a heart attack, Mum.
Yes, Rona. Please deal with that woman, would you? Rona, what are you doing here? Go home this instant. Mary Robinson, out of my studio. Hello, everybody, and welcome. And what a week it's been. I'm Monica Moody. Will you let me in?
And that, I'm sorry to say, listeners, was the last of the summer season of Monica Moody. Pauline McLynn played Monica Moody, Jonathan White was Garrett Fitzgerald, Pom Boyd was all the other women, and Darragh Kelly played Monica's son, Ronan. The script was written by Fiona Looney and Gerry McNamara. Monica Moody was devised by Gerry McNamara, and the programme was produced by John Caden.